Hi everyone. Here's another what to do, what not to do for the cover letter and resume assignment. Now, let's see. Why don't we start with the negative today and then we'll move to the positive so you'll be more emboldened to do your best. So anyway, for the resume, to sum up all the things we've been talking about, what not to do on it is first of all, remember those recruiters and their complaints. Number two is duty oriented resumes. So the ones that only say answered the phone, um, saved people from drowning, etc., etc. So don't just say what you did on the job. It's very boring and you'll sound like 50 million other people. Another one is don't be vague. Take a look at every single word and see if you can throw in a number or a more specific word. The more specifics you have, the more memorable it is, the more they'll get interested. Also, about the top part of your resume, bland objective statements are hated universally by anybody who hires people. What I mean by bland are the ones where people say objective, an entry level marketing job, which is a waste of space on your resume because obviously you're applying for a marketing job, an entry level marketing job. So those are not so good. They're an irritant to most readers of resumes and cover letters. Finally, don't make it obviously generic. I mean, most of us have resumes that maybe we could tweak a bit to make it more specific to the company, but we usually don't do all that much. But for the cover letter, definitely. It's very, very important, and you want them to see that you've done at least some homework on the company or the industry so that when you're making the claim that you're going to bring benefit after benefit to them, it sounds realistic. So, what not to do in the cover letter is first of all, I don't know if we've talked about language a lot, but don't be pompous, don't be arrogant, don't sound like Mr. Master Salesman unless it's a Mr. Master Salesman type of position. And don't be colloquial. So, watch your language. Colloquial means not slang, but conversational. So just avoid contractions. Don't say things like a lot. Be careful when you say great, and great is okay for magnitude, but not in the sense of it's great, it's wonderful. So watch your language with that. They want to see how well you're writing and how well you can speak the language of business. So, okay, that's what not to do in the cover letter. And by the way, the Kim Isaacs cover letter that I gave you as a model, I'm giving it to you as a model because of the sequence of information that it provides. However, I will agree with you that it looks strange. The bolding is not terribly common. It could well be okay for like a new startup or the tech industry. But anyway, it looks odd and it is kind of long. It really could be made shorter. And most of all, it's very wordy. So don't look at it and think you need to throw around all those buzzwords and, I don't know, just go on and on and on. I'm always pro direct, concrete sentences and messages. So there. Personal introduction, biography, don't make this a personal introduction. They don't really want to know about you personally. They don't want to know your life story. Basically, what they're looking for is that you're a match. So, if they get interested in you as a human being, that will probably come to light in an interview, or that's what they will be looking for there. But at the moment, you just want to get your foot in the door. Don't make any claims like about how you are great at something or you did something. Um, don't brag, don't make general claims unless you can support them. And that's why the first paragraph is so important. It ends with a strong claim. And the second section is where you prove it with the accomplishments that point to that claim and say, this is true. All right. Also, don't go on and on about how what they can do for you. Uh, they don't really care, to be honest, about your how they would help your career path or how much you really love the company. Just leave all of that out. So some people feel it makes it seem that they're very motivated, but really it's wasting space. You want the full focus to be on what you can do for them, not what they can do for you. Now here's the positive stuff. What to do? First of all, make it exceptional. That's what we're doing in this class because most of you have pretty decent resumes already. You've had them gone over. So our aim is to make them stand out and be even better. Now, to do this, I would say that the easiest thing to do is to look it over with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that all of your bullet points are use the Google formula or use that list of questions to devise accomplishments. And so, yes, don't be duty oriented. Instead, say, I did X as compared with the usual bland Y and had this metric of success, this metric of dollars, success, signups, new customers, whatever it may be. So use that. That's what the people who have even really great resumes can do to improve theirs. Next, make sure the visual design is good. Make sure it's really easy for a person who's interviewing you to hold it up at the end of their arm and still pick out important pieces of information. Now, some of you have really long or have really full resumes with little tiny lettering, and because you've done so much, you have a lot of accomplishments. It's very good. I would say, though, save that for the people who are really, really seriously going to look at it all, or unless you think it's going to run through a scanner. So, you can scan a lot of keywords that way. But in other cases, you might consider having a short form resume that just has lots of white space, but has the best accomplishments on it. So if you feel like you're just one in a sea of other applicants, you might consider that. Okay. Oh, and lastly, while people hate objective statements with a passion, you'll notice that recruiters really do like summaries. They like profiles. They like anything at the top that can help them take a look at it. It's kind of like a summary of your talents and accomplishments, and then they'll know what to look for in the rest of it. So they find it's very convenient when they have a resume that looks like that. Now, here's what to do with the cover letter. First of all, it's an argument, so think of it as first section, first paragraph, having a strong claim, how I am the exceptional match for your requirements as stated in the application or in the advertisement. So it's a claim. And you're also kind of making the promise that the rest of the letter is going to be the proof of this claim. So, we have, and we've been talking about the different sections. So they're connected. And finally, make the whole tone of the letter proactive in the sense where you're not going on and on about how this company is going to help you, but the whole tone should be, this is what I can do for you. Here's what I'm going to do for you if you hire me. It should have an enthusiastic, proactive tone that says, I bring benefits. Okay, well, I'm sure I could go on about this for hours, for days, for months, but I think this is a short list that might help you right before you sit down and write the individual assignment, and it might help you avoid some of the most common pitfalls, and also to make the best document possible. So anyway, thanks a lot.